now recording.
I'd like to share with you the reason that I decided to adopt. When I was young, I decided that if I got married, if I had children, I'd adopt half. I grew up in the 1960s and I could see the chaos the world was in. What got me most was that there were so many children who needed good homes. I carried this with me through life. Eventually I got married, I had a son. The marriage ended, and I didn't believe in only children. The idea of adoption came to mind again. I was working in an educational office the first day I met my daughter. One day, a social worker with another woman came into the office, the cutest little girl I'd ever seen, to register for class. It just so happened this little girl was deaf. She was 2.5 years old and had cute little pigtails on either side of her head and such a curiosity about her. She only knew a few signs, basically no language exposure. But you can see by the light in her eyes that she was very aware that she was the subject of our discussion. Well, while we were waiting there, my supervisor, who was also deaf, came out of her office. She greeted the visitors, then walked past me and she signed, find out more information about the little girl, her age, her race, that kind of thing. I agreed, and I began questioning the social workers. I found out the little girl was 2.5, free to adopt, and was biracial. Her mom was white. Her father was most likely black and white. I relayed this information to my supervisor, and she said thanks, but no thanks, and walked into her office. Now, it was too late for me. I was already hooked. I remember my first interaction with her. I had a box of chocolate Teddy Grahams on my desk. Her eyes were fixed on me, so I just for her to come on over after getting approval from her foster mother, of course. She got up and walked fearlessly to my desk and put the biggest smile I've ever seen on her little face and held out her hand. Her foster mother prompted her to sign, "Cookie, please," and she did. I lowered the box so she can reach in and get a cookie herself. She grabbed a little handful, then she turned to go back and sit down next to her foster mother, which then prompted her to sign, "Thank you." It was that moment that I started, okay, I want to adopt. I started by asking social worker questions like, can a single mom adopt? Do I have to own a house? What kind of expenses are involved? That kind of thing. She patiently answered my questions. Then she looked up at me and she asked, so when do you want to come in and fill in the form? I shortly replied, next week. I set up an appointment then and there. The following week I went to the Department of Social Services and the social worker gave me a folder and asked me to read the profile of the little girl. I noticed behavioral issues right away and told the social worker that was typical for deaf children due to lack of communication, which leads to frustration. The only tools that they have to express this is behavior. Once the communication issues are addressed, she received behavior lesson 2. She asked me if I was still interested, and I replied, well, of course. Then I started the paperwork. Now at this point, I hadn't realized that there was a national search for parents for her. Now I felt, I didn't stand a chance because I was a single parent living in an apartment, but after references, background, and everything else was checked, I was approved. I'll never forget the first and actually only home visit we had. First, let me explain the process. Typically, you have 2 supervised visits in the foster home, followed by 2 to 3 unsupervised visits. If all goes well, then an overnight is scheduled, which gradually progresses to moving in as a foster adopt situation. So during the first visit, of course, I was nervous, but no, Ashley wasn't. She was the youngest of 5 babies, not including the 2 natural children of the foster parents. I sat on the couch watching her boss all those little kids around the room. Then she came towards me, flashed this